Hi, I'm Tom, and this is Adult Game Reviews. This week, I got my hands on the long-awaited episode 11 of Being a Delta Iota Kappa by Dr. Pancake, available on DPC's Patreon.
It's been 84 years.
The last update was December of 2023. This will be a spoiler-free review. I plan on doing a full review of all 3 seasons when Season 3 finishes. So, is this the time to jump in, or should you wait for Season 3 to fully complete? Let's find out. Episode 11 is called Paradigm Shift, but I like to call it The Flood. Why? Because we finally get the answers to so many long-awaited questions.
You want the truth? You want the truth? You can handle the truth!
And just to be clear, I'm not going to tell you the answers to these questions to keep things spoiler-free. I have not played through every storyline and all the secret paths. I will tell you what you can expect from the episode and my take on it. With that said, this is a Christmas update. You plan another party, which reminds me of the Jimmy Eat World video, if you know, you know. This was by far the hardest party plan I've done. I tried it approximately 6 times, and the highest grade I was able to get was a C. There are approximately 4 free roams.
Too many, Rick! Too many!
This does make sense within the story, but still a bit disappointing. You have your English and math classes. By the way, the math minigame can go die in a fire. I found it so infuriating, I eventually gave up after hours of trying and just looked up the answers. You have more brawler minigames and the tile minigames to finish, and you finally get to see what's in the black box. So let's get on to the visuals. The visuals were solid, but as per usual, there's some variations in the girls' heights, and every once in a while you'll get an awkward facial expression like Sally's here. But it's the usual DPC's renders, which are very, very good. The writing was mostly good. You get the random awkward sentence or strange phrasing, but it didn't really sour my experience. Okay, so while this was a Christmas update, it's also the melodrama update with some fantastic music thrown in. There's lying, cheating, and scheming from everyone, which seems to be the focus. And so many hurt feelings all through this episode.
Well, why don't you cry about it?
There's a whole subsection of gamers that have officially banned BAD because there's optional cheating and sharing storylines in the episode, if you're on the right path. These instances of sharing or cheating were so brief that I almost missed one of them, and I only heard about the other because I am faithful to Jill.
She's mine! She's mine! She's mine! She's mine!
I will never understand getting upset at a game for having content that you can choose to not see, but I digress. I played through 3 paths: the Jill path, Josie and Maya, and Sage path. The Jill path is the most romantic. You get to continue to build your relationship with Jill, and she takes a few more risks. She shares with you something deeply personal.
And it was, frankly, delightful.
You know, Jill's storyline I enjoyed. It was nice, especially your time in the snow. However, it didn't really feel that impactful to anything happening in the overarching story. Josie and Maya's path was a bit stranger. Out of the 3 playthroughs, it felt like the least happened here. Everyone is white knighting for Maya, and Josie takes a bit of a back seat. I think Josie agrees with that as well. It didn't feel like this episode moved the needle at all for Josie and Maya, which was a bit disappointing. Now, Sage was a lot more fun. There was a lot more potential with her, and I've really enjoyed seeing her transform from what seemed like the bimbo party girl to potentially the best love interest in the game. While I enjoyed Sage's path the most, it still seems like it's all set up. There is so much opportunity for fun with side girls depending on which path you're on. If you're on the chick path, I found the least, neutral was a bit more, and Delta Iota Kappa having the most. If you were trying to play it faithful to one of your love interests, it was very hard in this episode to stick to it.
I'm checking her out. Blatantly.
Yes, I know I'm kind of painting broad strokes about the paths I've played, and that's because not a lot happens that moves the story forward. You spend your time building relationships, or at the very least maintaining them. We do get a lot of answers to all the biggest questions except for Bella, but I bet we get that answer in episode 12. Even with all the answers in episode 11, it reminded me that after 11 episodes, we're just still freshmen. Let's say that BAD will go until season 5. That's 8 more episodes, and at this pace, it will take over 10 years for the game to finish, and I think I'm being generous. Now, did I enjoy this update? Sorta, kinda. I don't think it was worth the $25 I paid, and that's for sure, but for $5? Maybe. Episode 11 has been described as a filler episode, but I don't think that quite fits. Paradigm Shift is closer, but still not quite there. I call it the rising action episode. This is the episode that gets ready for the big climax. The story shares a lot of new information that creates more questions and in general complicates things. And that's this episode. So, all the information was nice, but I wouldn't call it overly fun. There were moments with Jill that were very pleasant, or spicy content with Josie and Maya that was well worth it. However, the only pass that I thought was actually fun was probably Sage, but even then it was more drama than fun. So, in my opinion, you should probably wait for season 3 to finish. I know, don't blame me. While yes, episode 11 gave us a lot of the answers to the questions we've been wanting, it didn't actually finish any plot lines. While building relationships was nice, it didn't feel like we really moved at all. We're just slow dancing in a circle, which can can be nice, but usually not super fun. I'm really hoping that episode 12 pays off our patience with something a little bit more substantive or satisfying as far as the story. What was your experience of episode 12? Did you have the same experience or was yours different? Let me know in the comments. I want to thank all my backers on Patreon and Subscribestar, and if you haven't seen my video on No Such Luck, you can check it out right here. Thanks again. Until next time.